It's the 60-year anniversary of the Mercedes Pagoda, and we're off the SL shop to celebrate their open day. It's not snowing, so it's roofed down all the way, and if you drive fast enough, you won't even notice the rain. This is absolutely stunning and so lovely that Anastasia's mother-in-law's decided to book herself in as well. So we'll be having dinner with them tonight and then off to the SL shop tomorrow. Sadly, the weather forecast tomorrow is for it to tip it down, so this may well be the last time we see these cars in the sunshine. Wow, well, we found out that the windscreen wipers work on this car. Like many owners, they've probably never been out in the rain before. This car doesn't get out in the rain much, but lots of people have made the effort. We've even got the professional photographers here as well, and there's just about every type of color combo you could hope. There's another little blue car here, which is such a lovely car, beautiful white rim tires, and of course it is the SL shop, so they have got a plethora, hundreds of other SLs here. They picked their day for it, haven't they, eh? How you doing, guys?
Good, how are you?
Any people like have never taken their cars out in the rain and saying we're not turning up today?
A couple.
Yeah, we were going to do that, but there again. It's the only time that car's been washed since I've had it. Enough to be able to afford one of these Mercedes, then this is definitely the place to come and just to check out what kind of colour combo you might want. The benefit here is obviously all of these cars are beautifully cleaned. They've been built and stored by the SL shop, so when you buy them there's a warranty from them. They've got every type of SL here you could imagine, including some of the Pagodas. Think of this one here. This one looks like a full restoration. Everything looks new on this car, not just the interior, all the dials and everything else, but taking one look at the engine. This is not what our car looks like. Our car looks like the car it is, which has been a daily driver for the last 20 years. If you're thinking of buying one of these SLs, one of the things you'll probably never look for is the roof. They're nearly always rotted out under here. Unfortunately, you can't get the panels anymore, so it's quite an expensive thing to fix. A lovely 190 SL in here, but I love some of the things they've got written on the wall up here. Knowledge comes by taking things apart, but wisdom comes by putting things back together. It's probably one of the most valuable workshops in the country. I should imagine each one of these cars would be 50 grand upwards, many of them well over 100 grand. When you look underneath the car, you realise what's all the things that might be missing from yours. For example, I didn't realise there was a plastic fuel cover on these Pagodas. This is the place that people bring a perfectly good car to rip it to pieces and turn it into a carcass.
Exactly, yeah.
I guess so many people think their car is perfect, but it's not until you take some of these panels off that you realise it's actually, like many old Mercs, rotten to the core.
What we offer here is a health check, and when we got the car up on the ramp,
yeah, you just poke through the underseal and everything.
This one had lots of holes in it.
They still make a few of these panels, don't they? But some of these you're going to have to fabricate from scratch, I guess.
Yeah, you can buy the floors, the sills, the rear legs. It's panels like this.
What people don't understand is to do it properly, you actually have to rip it to pieces, can't you? You can't do these floor pans and stuff.
No, engine out. You can do the floor pans with everything in.
Yeah.
But in terms to do the sills and the chassis legs, engine out, axles down, bolt it down on the jig.
Wow. It takes a long time, doesn't it? And it's not a cheap job.
It's not a cheap job, no. I do this day in, day out. So it's
the other thing, if you know the cars, you know where to cut and where to, because
that's right. I get straight in with the grind and 113.
What's the ETA on this one? Days, weeks, months?
Probably another 2.5 weeks in here.
Brilliant. Thanks to have met Dan here. Dan's one of the people that's been working on this car. Was this one that came in a rough state, or was this one that was actually in quite a good state and you just wanted it?
No, this one was in quite a poor state, this one was.
So the amount of taking everything out, paint shop first, stripping it all down, and then bit by bit putting the engine back together?
We stripped it all down to a bare tub, and then it got took into the fabrication shop. They assessed it all and found out that pretty much every panel needed replacing.
Oh yeah, that's like my Pagoda. These Bosch fuel injection pumps here, how do you balance them? Do you balance them here? Do you do that yourself? Do you hope for the best?
We are in the process of having it all in-house.
So are there still places in the UK you can send those off, and they've got the old style machines and stuff like this?
Yeah, I think there's only 1 or 2 places that does these in this country. Otherwise, they end up going over to Mercedes.
In terms of hours, how long does it take you to take an engine out?
It takes us about a day to remove them.
Day to remove?
Yeah, and then we'll probably spend another day assessing everything, and then obviously if it needed machining and all that sort of stuff, then you could be looking at 2-3 weeks of engine building work, and then it's another day, 2 days putting it back in.
So when the engine came back, presumably these have been, I don't know how you'll have treated all these.
They've all been soda blasted.
And stuff. So if the engine's on the bench, all the bits have come back and they're, Dan, we've got the engine back for you.
Yeah.
It would take you how long to put that back together?
Together, just about a day and a half.
And you've done it before, so you're going to know what goes where and what's banned.
Yeah, we've done quite a few of them.
Brilliant.
About a day and a half to put them all back together, and then probably another couple of days, or another day putting it back in, and then probably a day setting it up, road testing it.
Look, Dan, I know you're busy. Thank you very much for taking a
problem
moment to talk to us, and what a lovely job you've done. What's the ETA on this car? Weeks, months?
No, this will be ready probably end of August.
End of
this
August.
Will be all ready to go.
Ready for the great English summer, which we've not got today.
That's right.
Cheers. This car here, how many hours do you think goes into a car to get it looking like this?
Well, it can run into the thousands, of course, depending on the start point and depending on the customer's budget. So it depends on the requirements of the end product. Some people would like that perfect turnkey car, nut and bolt. Some people need it sympathetically restored. Some people have got a certain budget. Each car's got its own story. Everybody's car's got its own journey for them personally. And I think what's important is that we tune into the ownership of that car. How long have they had it? Why have they bought it? How they inherited it? Those kind of things. So the most important thing is to find out how important that car is to that person, and then what their actual needs are, because they might not need the things that they think they need. So we'll spend a bit of time really tuning into the relationship between car and owner, and then we can go on a journey of, well, okay, this is what you're looking to achieve, this is how we might get there, and it might be a straight route, or it might be a route over a few years. But yeah, if you wanted a full restoration, then there's generally a bit of a waiting list for that. Servicing work is a matter of weeks, and things in the middle are a matter of weeks or months.
So is it fair to say that this, definitely in England, but what about Europe, is probably the biggest collection of SLs? Definitely in England, what about in Europe?
Probably the world, actually.
In the world.
If you think about it, today there's 182 SLs on site. Customers, showroom, parts, everything.
Sam, it's been a real pleasure meeting
Lovely to meet you.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you for the questions. Cheers.
Video here, we made it back safely to Bristol. Well, I have to say that was probably the most treacherous, unpleasant drive I've ever had, not just in this Pagoda, but in most cars. It was torrential rain all the way back with no visibility. But, you know, this Pagoda starts first time, every time. No problem at all in the rain. Everything works on it. We had a marvellous day at the SL shop, and a big thanks to them for all their hospitality.